Hey guys, I'm Sage Valentine and I'm back to review another episode of CBS's Big Brother Season 18, episode number 11. You're probably watching this video like, Sage Valentine, why are you smiling? You should be upset because I'm upset about what happened. I'm not upset because I expected it. I had this gut feeling that Frank was going to become HOH, and look what happened. Frank's safe. Paulie's HOH. Frank's HOH. You should always listen to your gut. Honestly, I mean, you already know who's going to go on the block. Tiffany, Davon, and Paul. Who will go home? Either Davon or Tiffany. But both are his targets. It depends on who he wants to send home first. I think that Davon might end up being the BB roadkill victim of next week, unless of course one of her allies wins BB roadkill and puts somebody else up instead of her. I mean, the worst possible thing happened this week, especially after such an epic blindside. Did I think that Michelle, Corey, Nicole, and Zakiya, because I'm not counting Paulie because Paulie was so wishy-washy, do I think that those four were going to be successful with this blindside? Yes. I mean, I know what I said yesterday in the other review when I said that I'll just wait until today to see how everything was going to turn out. But I still had a feeling that it was all going to go according to plan, and it did. And the icing on the cake, the cherry on top, was Davon casting the 5th vote to kick Brontë out of the house and keep Tiffany in the house. Will it be a battle this week for veto? You're darn right it will. Hopefully one of Davon's allies wins it and saves her, and then somebody else has to go up, which will probably end up being Natalie or James. Either way, I really want Davon and Tiffany safe. So this is wishful thinking, but I wish that that same group could flip the votes again and send Paul packing and send his butt right to the 5th spot where he can battle back into the game next Friday. I mean, this is going to be a tough week. I knew eventually that Davon was going to be targeted, but the only thing I can hope for is that she wins veto or wins BB roadkill. One of the two. And her allies stay behind her and rally behind her and don't flip. Now, as far as that situation with Frank and Nicole and Michelle, Frank knew exactly what he was doing. Don't be fooled. Everything that he does is calculated. See, what he wanted to do was what he did was that he went to Nicole and told her about this whole situation of trying to get Davon out and do this whole sneak attack. And then when Nicole mentioned that Michelle was a bit of a big mouth and would tell Day, all of a sudden Frank turned his attention to Michelle. Don't forget that Nicole also said that she figured that Michelle would be down with this whole let's get Davon out of the house situation, which Michelle actually is not at all. Anyway, Frank went to Michelle, told her the whole situation, and made sure to mention that Nicole was a part of this. He knew eventually that Michelle would tell Davon and then they would confront Nicole. He did not fathom that Michelle and Davon would be talking about this situation. Nicole would come in and Michelle would blow up Nicole's spot. And Nicole would have to scramble and lie, even though Davon's not stupid. She picked up on it because she's perceptive. She seemed to pick up on everything. And honestly, that put Nicole in a precarious situation. But does that mean that Nicole will not be allegiant to Frank? No, because nope, she'll still follow him. And that whole situation with Corey is so shady. Unfortunately, she's going to have to figure out the truth of what's going on with that for herself. And she's going to end up getting played again. And she's going to end up as sad as Britney was for the second time when she got played. And I felt really, really bad for Britney. Really, really bad. I feel so sorry for Brontë because everyone assured her that she was safe. And even after Bridget didn't use that veto, she still was told that she was safe. All she was a casualty of war, and I feel like Bridget did not use that veto to push her out of the way so that Bridget and Natalie could become close, because Bridget was literally the third rung in that alliance of the Spy Girls. She even mentioned that, if memory serves, to Frank, and that's the reason why she got rid of Brontë, and that sounds so messed up, but it was the truth. And Brontë, ended up being voted out simply because no one wanted to vote out Paul, and Operation Tiffany had already begun. But she was a good sport. She said that the reason why she felt she was voted out was because the house guests were gunning for Frank. And the one thing that she regretted doing or would not do in the house if she had a second chance was trust Jose and Victor. And she realized that she was collateral damage. And she was really, really excited when she found out about the whole battle back thing. And the final thing I want to talk about is Frank's look of shock when Tiffany called him a dictator, spilled all of the tea about Frank being a dictator, and called Bridget a Cabbage Patch doll. I can't wait to see all the memes because people are going to run with this dictator and Cabbage Patch doll thing. But I think that the best moment of the night was Frank's face as this blind side took effect, because he thought he had all the power in the house and he realized that he didn't. And despite the fact that I'm not happy about Paulie being the HOH, because that means that Frank is safe and that Frank could possibly sway the votes, I am holding out hope that Zakiya is able to convince Tiffany not to listen to Frank and not to get Tiffany out and not to target Day. That basically leaves other people, but those two, I want to make sure they're safe because I want them to target Frank. And whoever goes out this week will have a chance to come back in the house. And I feel like if the votes are flipped, that will probably end up being Paul. And I'm okay with that because that dude is on his way out if he keeps getting put up on the block as the quintessential pawn. But anyway, guys, take care. Leave me some comments. Let me know your thoughts on tonight's episode, the season so far, and who you think is going to win and who your favorite player is. I'm going to go upload this video, watch the news, and try to continue my marathon of scandal. But I love you guys. Take care. Bye, guys. Bye.